This is Willow, and today, this morning, she didn't get up when I got up. And I've only had her for 13 weeks, and over those 13 weeks, once she'd come out from under the bed, we'd got into a nice little routine, so I thought. And the routine involved me getting up, her coming to the bottom of the stairs, a little meow, we'd walk into her little room. She's got a room. But anyway, going into the room that she sleeps in. She jumps on the bed, I give her a cuddle, I give her a brush, then I go and get her food, and that's become the pattern. Except this morning, she didn't come out. And I, found her under the bed, and I thought, well, do I go and disturb her? Is she ill? And then about 30 minutes later, she came out, and we did then do the rest of the pattern. But the interesting thing is that I was much more conscious. I was much more consciously aware of stroking her and paying attention, more consciously aware of brushing her, more consciously aware of feeding her than perhaps I had been of recent mornings, where because it had become a routine, I was doing it without thinking. I was sort of doing all of that whilst thinking about what am I going to be doing later, rather than being with Willow in the moment. And I wondered how that's applicable really to situations that we're feeling stuck in. So I've done a video about being at a dead end, and I realised that when we're at a dead end, when we're approaching a dead end, when we're telling ourselves, oh, I've tried this for the last 2 years, or I tried it 2 years ago and it didn't work. I've tried it every month for the last 2 years and it's still not working. I'm at a dead end. That sometimes we're at a dead end because we've moved into that unconscious autopilot, really. The fact that we're just going through the motions. We're not thinking about why we're doing something. We're not thinking about what the action is trying to achieve. It's just, pressing 3 buttons and then getting on with the rest of our day. Pressing 3 buttons and getting on with the rest of the day, rather than realising and thinking, what does this one button do? What does this other button do? What about this button? So what I'm inviting you to do in an area where you're struggling, where there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, to become more consciously aware of the patterns that you're running to help achieve it. I can't tell you what you're going to notice, but I sort of get a sense for some of my own areas that it's because I'm only paying lip service to it. I'm jumping ahead. I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing later, rather than going, for this next hour, I am focusing totally on this activity, and the objective for this activity is X, and the process I'm going to use to achieve X is Y. And in the past, that Y may have not worked. So it could be that you realised, oh, I need to amend the process Y to be Y plus 3. So just to be consciously aware. Oh, I'm always looking in this. I can always remember. One of the questions I ask on a coaching session is, what part of this landscape represents your current situation? I always use the 180 degrees in front of us. And the person turned round and said, oh, but it's there. And look what's here. Here's the steps. So it could be that by focusing on this and saying, look, here's the current situation. Here's where I'm going to find the solution. And yet for me to move out of here, I need to turn around and go up those steps. So how is that representative of your current situation? The fact that you need to turn your gaze in a different direction. I'm Alison Smith, and for 25 years I've used nature as a metaphor for helping you see situations differently, from moving you from not knowing to knowing what to do, from stuck to unstuck, from off track to on track. If you've liked this video, please like, share, leave a comment, and hope to see you soon.